Hey there, and welcome to our cozy corner of the internet. If you've ever looked at a room dressed in Christmas lights and felt a little spark of magic in the air, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into how to use lights to create a Christmas atmosphere that feels warm, inviting, and a touch magical. Throughout this video you'll see a sequence of generic images, living rooms, trees, windows, and outdoor scenes. So I'll describe each scene in a way that matches whatever you're looking at. Ready to set the scene? Let's begin. Image 1. A living room bathed in soft, warm light. A crackling fireplace sits on one wall, and a string of warm white fairy lights drapes along a mantel. The glow is gentle and comforting, not flashy. This is your baseline ambience, the foundational layer that makes everything feel intimate. When you start decorating, think of light as the fabric of the room. It wraps around the space, shaping mood before any color or ornament even enters the scene. If you're aiming for cozy, you want to lean into warm white light, roughly 2700 to 3000 Kelvin. This color temperature evokes candlelight and hearthfire, the classics of Christmas. In this first image, notice how the fireplace sparks a sense of tradition, while the string lights add a soft halo that doesn't compete with the room's natural textures like wood and fabric. Your goal is balance. Enough light to see clearly, but enough shadows to create depth and comfort. Image 2. A close-up of a Christmas tree with layered lighting. The tree is lush, its needles catching a spectrum of tiny bulbs. There are a few larger bulbs placed here and there, sometimes blinking, sometimes fading in and out. A tree like this benefits from three lighting ideas working in harmony: a bright core, softer ambient wraps, and selective accents. The core is the main string lights wrapped evenly around the trunk and branches. Ambient wraps are softer, pale twinkles that fill gaps between ornaments. Accent bulbs, facing outward to highlight a favorite ornament or a texture, provide pops of sparkle without overwhelm. An important tip here is to distribute lights not just around the outside of the tree, but into the inner branches too. The result is depth. A tree that looks lush and three-dimensional, rather than flat. If you're using multicolor lights, mix a few warm white strands with colored strands so the tree reads as festive rather than chaotic. Image 3. A dining table centerpiece lit by a dedicated mini light strand and candles in glass holders. The table is calm, inviting conversation territory. Here, lighting design emphasizes function and mood in equal measure. The candles create real flames, soft, flickering, living light, while the string lights add a controlled glow that keeps dinner visible without glare. Use dimmable lights at the dining table so you can raise the mood for toasts and lower it for dessert conversations. Notice how the light is directed, not straight into guest's eyes, but angled toward the table surface and the centerpiece. This makes the space feel intimate and inviting, perfect for lingering meals and long conversations. If you don't want to rely on real candles every time, consider LED candles or lanterns with warm LEDs for the same cozy effect with safer, cooler light. Image 4. A windowsill scene with silhouettes of a snowy street outside. Indoor lights spill softly through sheer curtains, and a few prismatic accents scatter color on the walls. Windows are a fantastic place to extend your Christmas mood to the outdoors. You can use strings along the curtain rod or frame the windows with outlining lights to create a warm glow that reads from the street. The key is to keep it subtle and reflective rather than dazzling. The window lights are more about mood and visibility than brightness. If you want a hint of color without shouting, try a single color accent on the window frame and keep the rest neutral. This approach gives your home a festive outline that's visible from outside but gentle when you're inside. Image 5. A mantel display featuring garlands, a few berries, and a string of small lanterns. The lanterns cast a soft pool of light on the garland, highlighting texture and shape. Mantels are often a natural focal point in any living room, so giving them intentional lighting pays off multiplex benefits. The eye travels along the line of the garland, your seasonal decor reads clearly, and the space feels finished. If you're short on space, a slim under-health light or LED strip tucked behind the mantel can create the same effect without clutter. Layering is essential here. A strong back glow from the wall, a mid-toned glow from the garland itself, and small accents from the lanterns. The combination produces depth. Think of it as painting with light, with each layer adding nuance and warmth. Image 6. A cozy reading nook near a large window. A small floor lamp with a warm, amber glow sits beside a plush chair, while a string of fairy lights drapes along the edge of a bookshelf. The scene demonstrates how to blend decor lighting with practical light. You want the space to be usable, somewhere to curl up with a book or chat with a guest, without ever feeling sterile. In this setup, you've got task light for reading, ambient light for mood, and a decorative element that reinforces the Christmas vibe. The trick is to keep the combination gentle. You don't want to blast readers with brightness when the goal is quiet warmth. Image 7. Outdoors. A house with eaves lined in warm white lights. The roofline glows just enough to frame the building, while a path is defined with evenly spaced lanterns or solar stake lights. Outdoor lighting is not just for show, it enhances curb appeal and safety. Start with a gentle wash across the facade and then add a few focused accents on shrubs or architectural features. If you have a garden, wrap some branches with tiny LEDs to create a natural, twinkling effect that feels magical after dusk. Safety note here. Outdoor lights should be rated for outdoor use, plugged into GFCI outlets, and kept away from dry leaves or highly flammable materials. The last thing you want is a tiny spark turning your magical scene into a worry. Image 8. A cluster of lanterns along a walkway, each holding a warm LED candle. The walkway lighting creates a welcoming entrance and guides guests toward the front door. Lanterns are a timeless, charming element. They give you a gentle, steady glow and a sense of invitation. If you're short on time, a row of solar-powered lanterns can achieve a similar effect with zero wiring, though you'll want to check their brightness during darker evenings. When you place lanterns, keep a rhythm so they feel deliberate rather than haphazard. Space them evenly, or create a deliberate pattern that matches the architecture of your home. Consistency in placement translates into a more polished look overall. Image 9. A kitchen counter transformed with light strips under cabinets and a small, tasteful centerpiece. Lighting in the kitchen sets the scene for holiday baking and family gatherings. Under cabinet lights give you task lighting where you need it most, on countertops, while the rest of the room remains softly illuminated. For a touch of festive color, use a color-tunable strip that can shift from cool to warm depending on the moment. In a kitchen, practical lights should never be dimmed too low. You need clear visibility for chopping, measuring, and tasting. The festive mood comes from subtle accents and the overall warmth of the space paired with a clean, bright working area. Image 10. A quiet corner with a small Christmas tree, a window, and a single floor lamp. The scene shows how you can achieve a minimal yet elegant Christmas vibe with restraint. Sometimes less is more. A single tree with a strong centerpiece, a lamp casting a gentle pool of light, and a couple of well-chosen ornaments can be just as impactful as a crowded display. Minimal setups work especially well in smaller spaces or in rooms that double as home offices or study areas. The idea is to keep the lighting cohesive with the room's purpose, so you don't disrupt daily tasks with holiday excess. Image 11. A family scene. People gathered around the tree, smiling as gifts are exchanged. The background glow from the lights ties everyone together in a shared moment of joy. The emotional impact of Christmas lighting comes not from how many lights you use, but from how those lights guide attention, soften faces, and encourage togetherness. A well-lit space invites conversation, laughter, and memory-making. If your goal is family warmth, prioritize expressions and faces. Let the lighting sculpt the mood, not drown the moment. Image 12. A closing wide shot of a home warmly lit against a snowy evening. The lights are the heartbeat of the scene. They're present, but never loud. The longer you look, the more you sense a story. One of tradition meeting modern taste, of comfort earned through care, and of a home that feels ready for the season. So how do you bring all these elements together in your own space? Start with a plan. Pick a color temperature. Decide where your ambient light lives, and choose a few focal points to highlight with accent lighting. Then layer it up. Ambient glow first, task lighting second, and accents third. Don't forget to balance indoors with outdoors so your home feels cohesive from every angle. Use timers or smart plugs to sync lights to your daily routine into sunset, so the Christmas mood comes on just as the evening settles in. If you're new to Christmas lighting, begin with a simple setup: one tree, one mantle, and one outdoor display. As you grow more confident, you can expand to more zones: an additional tree in a guest room, a window display, or a string along the staircase. The beauty of lights is that they're scalable and forgiving. You can always remove a strand if something feels too bright, or add a new color to refresh the look. Before we wrap up, a few quick safety reminders. Inspect lights before you use them, replace any frayed wires or broken bulbs, and avoid overloading outlets. Use outdoor rated lights outside and keep indoor lights away from draperies or anything that could catch fire. If you're using candles, place them on stable surfaces and always extinguish them before you go to bed or leave the room. And if you enjoyed this tour of lighting ideas, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which image matched your space best? Do you prefer all warm white, or are you a fan of a splash of color? Remember, the goal is to craft a Christmas atmosphere that feels personal, comfortable, and a little magical, where light enhances connection and creates memories that last beyond the holidays. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, please like the video, subscribe for more decorating ideas, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next lighting guide. Happy holidays, and may your home glow with warmth and joy this season.